the 2 episodes Into the Fold and Cupid's Dagger. So those are quite the episodes. So I was going to show everybody this thing from Saturday Night Live that was mentioned, where we got to see Seth MacFarlane.
You're going to show it.
Where he does not act like his typical self. Oh, man. Okay, let me get to that. Okay, this. Oh man!
Yes, and that was really good back in the days.
Yeah.
Very fun.
But yeah, these 2 episodes, Into the Fold and Cupid's Dagger. Oh my word!
Good.
Now we got to see
They're
the kids of the
episodes.
a little bit. Oh yeah, great episode.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So which one was your favorite of the 2?
I would have to say the first one because, of course, it leads to like greater things later on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Of course.
The second one kind of redeems Kelly, I think, because at first she was looked at as the bad guy for what she did, but now you realize that she wasn't completely in control of her cognitive abilities at that time. So, yeah,
it's a good redemption story that adds to gives opportunity for later, getting them back together, giving it a second shot. But I really like the first episode again because it ties into future episodes, and it's just great to see him with kids. He reminds me so much of Data.
Yes.
With kids. He can be so sarcastic in that, but he has also his human, caring side. He's picked up so much. It's good to see him evolve almost as it is, which ties into the later episodes in the finale, especially where he, ends up saving the Orville from his own brethren robots, the healers. It's quite good.
That's so true.
Those 2 troublesome kids.
Yes, he was almost vaporized. I'm like, cut the crap right now. It's like, but I love the way he wakes up his mom and says, Mommy! It so reminds me of Family Guy the way he does that. Because I almost have to talk about Mom.
Oh, kids will do that.
They will.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, kids will do that.
They will. Because I've had that with my cousins and stuff. They'll wake me up and say, Alicia. So yes, they will do that.
Yeah, without realizing that Alicia needs another 5 minutes.
Or never mind that Alicia didn't get enough sleep. I said, as long as they got the sleep, I don't care. I said, I can always get to sleep. Kids are a little bit more, it's harder for them to go back to sleep unless they go to sleep. So yes. I think my favorite is Cupid's Dagger, though. Cupid's Dagger is my favorite in some ways.
It really takes me back to the Lion King, the scene where he's trying to wake him up and he's like, until sunrise is your son. You deal with him. Dad, you promised. Oh, okay, if I have to. And now I've had to live through that. Now I know exactly what he means. Especially Monday mornings. Monday mornings is the worst.
Oh yeah.
Like, can't you take this? Now I'm saying to them, can't you take the day off school? When I should be in.
That's so true. That's so true. What about you, Mara? Which one was your favorite? Into the Fold, or was it the other one, Cupid's dagger.
The second one, because it shows the power of love.
Oh, yes, it did show the power of love. That's true. That's true. But those
Well,
pheromones,
actually, it shows the power of sexual intention, but
especially the sexual pheromones, you never know what it will
It's the
do.
power of lust.
It's the power of the pheromones, folks. You never know what they're going to do. Make you attracted to a blue-skinned alien,
Right?
or make two different aliens who hate each other's guts fall in love with each other.
and we have learned a lot in this episode. Never shake hands with a blue dude.
That's true, and make sure you never have white sheets.
So, if you are ever somewhere in Vegas and you see the Blue Man Group, don't shake hands.
Oh, no, I think they're in Universal Studios, Florida. They took over the old Nickelodeon studios for a while.
Okay.
I don't know if they're still doing it, but that's the last I heard of them.
But yes, that was a big deal back in the 90s. That's right, the Blue Man Group. I remember that, yes. Now you hardly ever hear about them anymore. People are like, what, the blue what?
Well, that's why I think they're probably not on Nickelodeon Studios anymore.
Probably not. Probably not.
Probably they are, but not filming for Nickelodeon, but for Pornhub.
Oh,
I would
that's
be
a totally different story. Yeah, I wouldn't know about that.
I would not be surprised if that was the case. So what song would you put in the elevator? We all know Dan helped come up with the soundtrack for the elevator. What song would you put in the elevator?
Some sort of Michael Jackson music.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Yeah, for some reason, when I was young, the very, very first fancy bathroom I ever went into, where it was like, real tile gold stuff or whatever,
Right.
they were playing Michael Jackson music in the background. And I just remember that.
Wow.
So I will forever tie fancy music to fancy bathroom music to Michael Jackson.
Very cool. What song was it by any chance? You remember?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I don't exactly remember. It was so long. I just remember Michael Jackson, and it was like it wasn't one of those. Like, it wasn't one of like the big hits. It was like
Okay,
it was one of the more ballad ones. There was a ballad or something. A couple of ballads.
Okay,
That's what it reminded me of.
At least it wasn't stuff like "Beat It."
Well, for me, it's quite easy. Because back in the day, as I still was going out and went to pubs and everything, and I always wore the same clothes. So in the bars and pubs where I was a regular, when they saw me coming, they kicked off the song that was playing, and then while I was entering the pub or bar, they started playing "Here Comes the Man in Black."
Oh, the Michael Will Smith.
You had your own entrance music into a bar.
I had my own entrance music.
I've always wanted whenever I came into the bar, I always wanted the band to like stop doing what they were doing, because the bar I used to go to, they were like every Friday there was a live band, and I always wanted them to just stop what they were doing. And I don't know if you're a wrestling fan, but I wanted them to play Triple H's music. It's all about the game and how you play it. All about the control and everything. Say it. Yeah, that I wanted them to play that because I would have loved to just like bust in there like Triple H did. Grab a beer or whatever, like drink it and just go. Like he would always spit out his water. Yeah.
You would never see Austin Powers do that. He would just
Oh no, yeah, Austin.
He would never waste a beer.
Austin, he would never waste a beer. You're right.
No.
And the question always is, how regular do you have to be to get special treatment? And in Scheuermann's Beer House, the pub I used to go, there I was very special. I knew the owner. I knew most of the staff. We played games, drinking games with the staff. And usually I went there with $20 and left with $20, but I was completely drunk. So yeah, it was kind of a special treatment for me because they knew me and they knew I'm a cool guy, and it was all in all very very funny, and we had a lot of fun there. And then the owner died, and since that I haven't, or I barely see any one of those folks that I've met there. Well, one of them sometimes comes over, helps with garden works.
Mhm.
So I see at last that person, and he's telling my dad stories about what we did back then, which is a little bit, well, my dad thought I was always a little bit hold back,
Uh-huh.
and I was not very interesting as a person, and then he comes with that story that we actually pulled off back then. And my dad still looks at me as if he didn't believe what I did in those times. And it's
Well,
always nice.
every parent wants their kid to be like, kind of
Oh,
angels.
yeah, well, that's the problem. My dad was an Hell's Angel.
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
so,
That's a good segue for that.
so him seeing me as completely boring as a person is one thing, and then hearing what bullshit I pulled off back in the day,
Mm.
I was worse than him.
Wow. Wow.
There you
So,
go.
so John, what would be the soundtrack song would be for the elevator for you?
Anything from the 80s. I am a big fan of like Queen and Meatloaf, stuff like that. I'm quite like my dad in that sense. I'm a regular 80s kid, even though I
Yes.
missed the 80s. I came in late, but you can't forget, the Highlander movie.
Oh,
But you do not.
That would not
You,
be the same without the Queen soundtrack. That's what
no,
made the movie.
you
And so,
do not. You do not want to go into an elevator that plays "Who Wants to Live Forever."
as long as it doesn't play the song "Everything I Do It For You." Because that is such a '90s hit. It played it everywhere. Because even my musical keyboard that I have had on there, like, oh my word. Let's see, what song would I have? Maybe some '80s music, like
Yes, it's true. Is that the song?
nope. My song
No.
would probably
Okay.
Meatloaf.
my song
I
might be,
think it's fun.
I think my song would be either "Don't Stop Believing," maybe by Journey, or
There you
"Every
go.
Rose Has a Thorn." Those are good classic '80s music.
That's yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
Do
you're
anything
talking about
for
Brian Singer.
right into hell
Oh, yeah.
and back.
Mhm. Yes, I like good classic '80s music because I am an '80s baby. I mean, a lot of people are surprised. I'm like, yes, I was born in the '80s. I was born in the '80s, almost the late '80s, but I was born in the '80s.
Early 80s. Oh, did she freeze?
Looks like it.
I think she's lost again.
I think she'll be back.
But yeah, the reason I like the second episode is, does anyone remember the episode with TNG, The Perfect Mate, where Patrick Stewart and
Yes.
Jennison? That reminds me so much of that, where, I will not have her locked up on her quarters. As long as she's here, she has free roam of the ship. But, she has to be accompanied by Data because he's
Right.
the only one that can be
He's
around her.
yeah. He's the only one that has no Yeah.
The
Yeah, and
Ouija's
so
eyes,
and what happens is she ends up bonding with
Picard.
Captain Picard.
Yeah.
Like they, even though like she's going to marry some other person, she bonded with Picard. So suddenly she's going to bring philosophy and literature to this man's life, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. And funny enough, funny enough, the reason that she was getting married to her was to solve a civil dispute and bring two societies together and form
Yeah.
peace. So
Mhm.
it's a nice wee callback to that, I think.
Oh
In
yeah.
case you missed that, I was talking about the Perfect Mate episode from TNG.
Ooh.
Um, I was saying that the second episode reminds me a lot of that. You know,
Yes.
the one where Patrick Stewart he kind of formed a bond with the woman Jansen Jansen
Mhm.
Jansen, and she has this pheromone that makes men go mental. You know, fall madly in love with her, and that everyone wants to
I
kill
think there
her.
was like a fight scene in the 10 forward too.
Oh
There was,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, then ready to kill each other. Yeah, I remember that one. Yes.
So it's interesting that it's similar, but it's also the same from a different. You know, what if it was a guy? You know,
Mhm.
how would people react? And it's funny, especially in today's society, that we now have gay relations and stuff like that. So it's a nice wee twist on it.
Yes,
Um,
that's true. That is so
Yeah.
true. Because we didn't know about. Well, we knew about it, but we didn't know about it. That makes sense. We knew about it, but we didn't talk about it. That's for sure.
Hmm.
But yeah. It's so crazy the way he goes about doing this, Seth MacFarlane, and helping create these two opposite aliens that you can tell they really hate each other. They're fixing to start World War III until Derulio said, "Hey, I got solution." And I'm thinking, Derulio, was that really necessary to do that kind of solution the way he did?
And it's funny because it went straight to love. Like I would figure it'd be like, you know what, we both connect on this video game. You know, let's beat each other up, and whoever wins, you know, they win the treaty or something like that. But no, they went straight to love. It's crazy.
Mhm. Exactly. They don't, and it's not like because at first they go from hating each other so much, then they go to the total extreme. Like what?
Right.
Like wait a minute here. They did a whole 360.
Hmm.
Like huh? I was not expecting that, but I'm glad we get to see Claire's boys again in the second one. Because they said we can't get into where mom is. You know? And poor Alara's keeping an eyeful.
Right.
She's probably thinking, "Oh my god, I hate my job."
She's trying to figure out how Yaphet mates at this point. Yeah. Yeah.
She's probably thinking, "Look, I need some Soleil and rum and yeah, because I've had a hard day."
She's like, so is he the bathtub or is he the bath water?
She doesn't know what to make of it. I mean, because it's so weird seeing Yaphet, like the picture on the wall is like, oh, that's not technically my mom anymore. That's technically my brother. Now I'm like, what? What?
Right. I guess they're all like interrelated. In
I guess so, but yikes. I hope that we get to see more Yaphets and other colors, though. I really do.
yeah.
I would like to
I'd
see
like to-
Yaphet's parents come aboard for an
Yes.
episode.
Definitely.
I'd like to see if he could like take other shapes. Like, imagine if Yaphet could take like a humanoid shape. You know how
Oh,
you like
yes.
mold them into a kind of human shape. You know, to make it the crew.
I mean, he can make the
acceptable.
right shapes at least. He's like, hey, at one point, you know.
Mhm. And he gives a thumbs up and he plays the guitar, and so that makes a hand and stuff like that. You've seen him
Yeah.
do it one time.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it really reminds me of like the changelings from Star
Ooh.
Trek. You know how they
Yes.
can form that kind of liquid and they can take
Yeah.
other forms. So it'd be cool to see, you know, if they could like take other forms as well. You know, different shapes.
Yes. I always was fascinated by that alien race, especially like Otto and stuff like that, the way they always can change into almost anything. Because you never
Yeah.
know where they're lurking around. Because you think, okay, I'm all alone in this room. And the next thing you know, you see them come out from under the floor somewhere. Like, what?
Right.
I didn't even know they were in the room.
I'm trying to think about how Yaphet's parents maybe could or should look like, and I'm thinking about Daddy Yaphet with a beard,
I like that one. I like
and
Maybe Yaphet
Mommy-
with a nice wee blonde wig.
no, not a wig, but one of those flower hats.
Oh, okay. Yeah, with the big floppy flower
So
hat.
yeah, you would have them old stylish, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
but as blobs, which probably
Okay.
might be very funny. So, says, if you listen in here, my idea, take it, give me some credit.
I'll definitely make the mention when I do my podcast when I talk about the different alien races. I'll mention that about Yaphet for sure. But yes, Yaphet. I mean, one of my theories is that Yaphet is a particular color because of the mood. They're kind of like mood rings, and then when they get to a puberty age, they stay that particular color because they've been that particular mood. So maybe that's the reason why he's that yellowish color because he's a happy-go-lucky kind of person.
Right.
No, in that case, he would have changed his color in this episode because he was a horny little person.
The thing is, he was a teenager when he stayed that color. He ain't changed any colors now that he's
So he's forever horny.
Exactly, he's forever that color. He can't change back. Even though I'd love to see little blue or little reds or purple Yaphets.
I think he's regretting it now. He's like, did it have to be the colour of snot? Really? No wonder I can't get into it.
Yeah, like Priya Mix, she said, "You're the most handsomest piece of cow puke I've ever seen." I'm like, ew, Priya, but he does. He's not very attractive, that's for sure.
He's a green blob. I mean, what else can you expect?
Exactly, he's just a big ball of jelly. Oh man!
Let's go back to Attack of the Killer Blob. So
Oh yeah.
Could blob creatures exist? So it's sweet theory.
That's true. That's
I mean,
true.
if you think about it, in theory, we all came from a pool of blob, and we just started breaking our atoms, splitting the atoms, and then all of a sudden we took forms as little microbes, and then we evolved.
Mhm.
So.
Oh yeah, exactly. Because it's crazy. Because everyone's like, "What is that creature thing?" But you see it like, what?
Yeah.
But yeah. So, what would you have made in your picnic basket for that dinner thing for Jerulia? What would have been in your picnic basket? I'm curious.
Pizza.
Ooh, okay. Not your typical barbecue picnic food. Okay. Pizza. Any particular kind?
Pepperoni with
Ooh.
olives.
Ooh, okay. Will there be a soda in there or will there be a beer in there?
A little bit of both, I think. You have a can of soda and maybe like a keg of beer.
Okay. Any dessert?
Dessert. Let's see. I got some cherry sours.
Okay. Who wants to go next?
Actually, even better, I got some. I got some infused jellies if you want.
Okay, Mar or John, what would you put in your picnic basket?
Oh, honestly, I've never made a picnic bag, so I have no clue.
Well, you can put anything in there. I mean, picnic basket, they typically here in the States, they typically put like fried chicken, potato salad, coleslaw,
Sandwiches.
Well, my mom used to put in apples and eggs, but I don't think that would make a good picnic after all.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, what would be your meal that you would eat for a date then?
Oh, I probably would cook something.
Okay, so you'd be cooking something for your date.
Something specific that can be eaten cold.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Would there be something to drink as well with that?
That depends. I myself, I do not drink alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
So probably Coke.
Okay. And would there be a dessert?
No dessert. No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to attract insects.
You're sweet enough to be the dessert, you're saying.
Of course, I'm sweet enough to do that. I mean, come on.
All right, John, what would be in your picnic basket?
You know why I'm not on camera, because of all the ladies out there.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
He just shows his
I know how that is.
love. It's like, ooh, Quail, Quail, I want you, Quail. It's not just the ladies though, us guys as well. We're like, ooh, Herbert boy. Here in the UK, we have picnics, but it's more like your kind of fancy at least sandwiches and maybe a thermostat with some tea or coffee or something like that. So we don't really have anything fancy like in America. But if I was on a date, I'd probably want like a kind of like barbecue kind of thing. You know, have some maybe some fried chicken, some nice burgers or I don't know, something like that. Maybe a nice thermostat with some hot soup inside for starter. So yeah, I think dessert. I'm not sure. I always like a nice cheesecake.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
Cheesecake is my favorite when it comes to desserts.
Mm-hmm.
I can never decide on which flavor I like the best though. Do I like the strawberry? Do I like the raspberry? Do you like the? Oh, I like all.
Maybe you get a little variety one because we have these variety ones. I don't know if they have them there, but we do here. We have the variety pack where you get a little slice of this, you get a slice of that one. So
wow, now that would be ideal. I would love that. We don't have them here, unfortunately. Otherwise,
me and Jack
every time.
Me and Jack have got to get you to the States so you can try the American cheesecakes.
That's what I do when I get pizza. I can't decide between the meat piece or the chicken, so I get half and half.
Oh, okay.
Half is done. Anyway.
Yeah, because American pizza is different from your guys. Because here, where I am, we have a crab pizza. So then we have like a macaroni and cheese pizza.
Macaroni and cheese.
Crab pizza. Do you live near the Baltimore area?
I'm near Washington, D.C., so...
Washington, so near the Baltimore area. Okay.
I'm about 30 minutes to an hour.
That's the only area I've ever seen potato chips made of crab.
But they don't taste like crab to me. They don't taste like crab. To me, they taste just like Old Bay seasoning.
Do they? I thought they tasted. I don't know. I thought they were good, but I've never seen crab chips outside of that area.
Okay.
And so yeah, I used to take a bunch home with me.
Well, I have to send you some sometime, Jack, if you ever want.
Sure. Definitely.
But
that's one thing I've never tried. I've never tried lobster or crab or any kind of shellfish. So one thing I would love to try, but then at the same time, then I think, would that make me a cannibal because I'm a Cancerian?
No, because I've eaten crab and all that stuff, but unfortunately, every time I eat lobster, it makes me sick. But I can eat shrimp and I can eat the crab, all that, but the lobster does not agree with me. But let's see, what would be my pick for basket? I think I would probably do something maybe like a lasagna, because it's hard getting everything like that with breadsticks. And I'd probably bring something like a lemonade or a soda, and maybe a banana pudding or a cheesecake. One of those two, something light.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, so how do you think Ed made the banana bread? Do you think he had the synthesizer make it for him, or do you think he actually made it?
Synthesizer.
Probably synthesized, definitely. He doesn't seem like the type of guy who knows his way around the kitchen. I mean, yeah. I don't even know how the hell you make banana bread. It's another thing that we don't have over here, banana bread. But
I have to introduce you, because basically what they do is basically take the bananas, mash it up and stuff like that, and they mix it into like a bread mix kind of thing. And sometimes they add walnuts to it, sometimes they don't.
The cake itself tastes so good.
It does. You can't eat just but one. You can't eat just one piece, because the piece is so moist. It's like a cake, basically.
There's a lot of American delicacies I want to try, like pumpkin pie. We don't have like here.
Not sure
pumpkin pie is
banana
good.
Bread is American, because we here in Germany we have it too.
Do you?
So,
do they add liquor to yours, or do they virgin without the alcohol bar? I'm curious.
The banana bread that I had so far was bananas and yeah, sometimes some kind of nuts in it.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said,
I'm not sure if it is hazel or walnuts they used for it.
okay. See, here they normally use walnuts, and I don't like walnuts in my banana bread. It's just like, no. I mean, yeah, it's like a little weird. But they used to, I don't, Jack, you probably remember this, but they used to have this cereal. It was a banana, it was like a banana crunch cereal that had little banana chips and stuff like that inside the cereal and stuff like that. That was
I remember, there was a cereal for just about any. They had banana chips, but then there was a cereal where they had little dried up chips of strawberry,
oh, right.
like
I remember that.
dehydrated strawberry.
Yes.
And they did that with all of the fruit, or all the
I think the
vegetables.
one they didn't do, well, for us, they didn't do the one with the apples, the dried apples. I don't think they did, except for pieces.
I mean, like the closest was Apple Jacks, but that was part of the little. They didn't have little apples in them. Yeah,
exactly. That was the closest. Yeah, but other than that, no, they put the actual dried apple in it.
Right, and it was funny because they always were like, it doesn't taste like apple, but I always thought it did. In the commercials,
and it smelled like apple.
In the commercial, it was like, it doesn't taste like apple. So why is it called Apple Jacks? And everyone would be like, dun 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 dun. Hey, we just like it. Yeah, it was one of those things.
Mm-hmm. They had the Cookie Crisp one. I remember that one because that one tasted just like cookies.
Cookie Crisp. Yeah.
I'm thinking, why do I want Cookie Crisp? It tastes just like cookies, honestly. Why don't
Well, they were all little cookies.
They were.
I loved it. Yeah, they were just little cookies. It was great. You just pour the milk over. It's like milk and cookies.
It was. But my favorite was Golden Grams of cereal.
Golden Grams are good. You gotta love the flavor. Just the cinnamon flavor of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the sugary. Oh my word! And I would just love it.
And then for some reason Rice Krispies comes into play and fruity Pebbles. I like Fruity Pebbles over Cocoa Pebbles.
Yeah. And Kix and Captain Crunch.
Oh God, Captain Crunch! I remember Trix.
Oh yeah, Tricks are for kids. You silly rabbit.
That poor rabbit he needed like decades worth of therapy.
I know. And then he ended up on the yogurts and stuff. The yogurts were okay, but he was on the cereal trying to get silver eggs.
The one I remember was actually a Got Milk commercial, and it was a guy who was in a convenience store, and he's buying a bunch of cereal, and one of the cereals is Trix. Right. And then like the cashier's like, Trix are for kids, and the guy's like, he's got this weird look in his face. He finally gets home, and he's got like a bowl ready and everything, and he's like, finally, and he unzips himself, and it's the rabbit from Trix. He's like, finally, Trix, Trix are for me. And he pours the Trix in the bowl, and he takes the milk and he pours it, and it's like a couple drops, and he's like, got milk. And I always thought, the way you set everything up on that table, you didn't realize you were out of milk. You couldn't have gotten like another bottle of milk, another carton of milk while you were getting your Trix. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I remember that one. Because he had like that trench coat. I remember that. And he had the hat and stuff like that. Yes, I remember that one. He unzipped it. Kind of like the cartoons in what was it? Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
And it was the first time I realized that the Trix rabbit had lost it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you guys think we'll see Derulio again, or is Derulio gone by the wayside?
I think he's going to play like in at least in one episode. I think he's going to play a major role. Like he's going to come back and like there's probably going to be a little bit of conflict as there were, but then like they're going to get their heads out of their and they're going to get everything done, and he's probably going to play a big part in that too. It could be him like telling them to get their heads out of there, so who knows.
Maybe they'll do an STD episode, like guys, you remember
Oh no!
that?
If they did an STD episode, they'd all have a threesome. That's what it would be.
Yeah. It's like, you remember that time when we all met up? Yeah, you may want to get yourself checked. Have you been experiencing any itching, maybe spots?
Hey! Suddenly, Ed and Keller are back together. It's not the same relationship because there's a third guy involved. But hey,
I would love to see Tala's reaction to Derulio say, "Get your blue goo face out of my head." Because I can see Tala saying that kind of stuff. Do you mind?
right?
Because she's no nonsense, honestly.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Mm-hmm. What do you think, Mara? You think we're going to see Derulio again?
Well, probably. I mean, there is so much still going on in this universe, so who knows? Probably they will need him for something special again. I mean, we was in the future, and I clearly can't see why not. And of course, if we go the route of all shows, there probably also will be episodes where they have flashbacks all the time because they didn't know what to make this episode.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That's true.
I still can't believe it's Rob Loy from Wayne's World that plays the Derulio character.
Yes.
I just recently found that out when I was doing some research on the episodes. I was like, that was him. Jeez, oh, you can't tell because of all his makeup, and I was like, oh, sure.
Yeah, I couldn't tell at first either.
No, I mean, I think I remembered him. What else was he in? I want to say a certain movie I seen him in. I was like, okay, Rob Lowe, and he was everybody's sweetheart. Everybody was like, oh, Rob Lowe. Okay, so.
Yeah, he's one of those actors where people is like they remember his face, but they don't remember his name. Is like, what was he in again? Oh, he was the bad guy from Wayne's World. Oh, the jerk with all the money. Gotcha.
Yes, exactly. Because he was like, okay, yeah. But yeah, it's so crazy seeing him with all that blue and stuff like that. I'm like, wait a minute, huh? Oh, man.
The last movie I recognized him in was Thank You for Smoking, which was back in 2005.
Okay.
Oh, I remember that. I've never watched that one.
He was in Goldmember as well. He was middle number 2.
Okay. Oh, okay. He was in Austin Powers. I'm looking this over now. I see he was in Austin Powers. Okay, gotcha.
I remember him from Super Troopers 2.
Mm-hmm.
Played Guy Lefranc, the French Canadian guy.
Uh-huh. Okay, now I know where I remember. Now I remember where I saw him before. It was in The West Wing. That's where I remember seeing him a lot, was The West Wing.
Right.
So yeah, but he's had quite an extensive career, that's for sure. So yeah. But yeah, I mean he's definitely not your typical actor. That's the thing about these actors. You're like, wait a minute, like I did on my podcast where I was discussing like these people is like a guessing game. Who's gonna appear next on the Orville universe? Who's gonna be the next director? Who's gonna be the next guest star? I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
It's always nice to see the old Trek cast members come on.
It is. It really is. Because it's always like, okay, I remember them as this. Like I said, Robert Ricardo, I have seen him in so many things.
Oh yeah, he's a recognizable face.
He is. He really is. And he's like, okay, like to see him in Orville, see him in Stargate, see him in Star Trek, see him in Tales from the Crypt and everything like that. Because he had hair in that one. So weird.
The bad guy from the first episode we saw, he also was in a lot of Star Trek episodes.
Okay, yeah.
Always was different makeup. I just don't know his name.
Okay,
yeah.
Are you talking about the guy who played the creepy dude, or?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I don't remember.
From the first time I saw him was Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where he played the Luke guy, the Luke vampire.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Master.
He played a character of the Dominion. He played a character in the Romulan, in the
Yep.
Romulan's Empire. He had a character in Voyager.
Mm.
I think he was everywhere Star Trek
Oh
related.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was in nearly everything. He even played a Klingon at one point, I think.
Yeah, right.
You always see him as a bad guy. One of his most memorable roles. What's sad because it
We
was
need a
such
we
bad
need a
movie.
strong, tall bad guy. Let's take this actor and just put some mask on him, and
Yeah.
so no one recognizes him directly.
Somebody other than Jeffrey Hunter.
Yeah, I'm not good with names.
Oh,
Yeah.
my bad. Nah, he played a bunch of other roles. He played a bunch of other roles. My bad.
Yeah, but usually this bad guy that we just was talking about, which I do not know the name of, he usually is cast when they need someone who's tall and strong because he has this special facial features of this typical bad guy. I would say, I would call it.
Oh, we've lost again.
Oh, yeah, she disappeared. I'm sure she'll be back in a
Well,
minute. Keep
well,
going.
on the other side, if they want someone to cast for beheading, it's normally the guy that played Kurgan from Highlander. So he was beheaded in Highlander. He was beheaded in Sleepy Hollow, in the Sleepy Hollow series. Kind of feel bad for him too, for always getting beheaded.
Okay, so I looked it up. The guy's name is Brian Thompson.
Brian Thompson. Okay.
So,
Sorry,
yeah.
Brian, for not knowing your name.
All right. The important thing is remember him for his roles.
Yeah,
That's what they say.
exactly.
The days of remembering people for their names. No, everyone used to
Mhm.
remember actors. They used to remember. Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Everyone knew these. They were big names. Now they just remember the roles they were doing. They're like, oh, the guy, the Falcon guy. With the wings, the birdsuit guy.
Yeah, so this is what he actually looks like when he's not under all that makeup.
Yeah.
He's still
Yeah.
kind of creepy.
That's what I'm saying. He's still kind of creepy. He has this strange facial features.
He does. He's like the kind of guy you don't want to mess with. Just like, yikes. But yeah, according to this, he's been in the Star Trek franchise. He was also in the X-Files.
Yep.
And he played in Star Trek Enterprise as one of the admirals. He was on Deep Space Nine as a Klingon lieutenant. And Next Generation, he played the part of Jim Hadar. And he was also in Deep Space Nine. So, okay. So he's had quite a career. But, yeah. He's kind of creepy.
Was all thanks to Schwarzenegger, actually, because he played one of the punks that got killed in the Terminator. Fuck you, man.
Oh, yes. Yes. But, yeah. Do you guys think we'll see maybe like where they are going to have that particular race cured? Because I know Kelly talked about talking to the union about getting them a cure for that disease that they have because of the water. Or do you think we'll never see them again?
I have a feeling we might not see them again because
I don't think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that seemed like more of a throwaway planet.
And they seemed kind of a primitive race. I mean, they were still using, simple firearms, so I don't think we'll see them again either.
No, maybe a reference, but not a particular, where we see them first.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, we got a reference of them, like the planet and the shuttlecraft crash kind of thing, but we never saw the planet again. So we did get that reference and stuff like that. Well, I watched the chat. Sorry, Nick, I wasn't in the chat. It kicked me out temporarily. But no, I mean, like I said, certain planets, I don't think we'll see again. I don't think we'll see that one again. Derulio, yeah, but he's like one of those people that keeps showing up. So he's been there twice. So maybe we'll see him again. But you know what? It's like it's not a big deal for us. Really. For me, it's not. If I see Derulio again, okay, fine.
The thing is, you could have Brian Thompson, coming back, put him some different makeup on him. He's such a great actor. He could do other roles for this.
That's true.
I would love to see him as a bad guy because he's such a well-known presence. He's got that kind of evil, menacing look to him.
And for Brian Thompson, as I said before, I'm sorry that I didn't know your name. So if we ever meet on a con or something like that, just remember, I am the guy in the lower left.
He's the one that's over here on the opposite side of me. Forgive us, Brian, for not recognizing your name. The thing is, I couldn't think of it either. They're like, oh yeah. But it was like, because he's there, but then like Jack said, here comes creepy guy.
Right.
Because everybody on that planet, sadly, is creepy looking. They look like these zombies. It feels like when they were coming out. Honestly, I don't know for you guys, but for me, it felt like it was watching like The Walking Dead kind of thing.
Right, and it's like the ones that didn't want to eat you are the ones that want to like live happily ever after with you. So
yeah, it reminded me of Clover Lane. Where he drives off the road. He says he saves that. You can't go out there. You can't go out. You have to stay here. We're going to survive this. It's all right. It's like, I'm not sure if I want to stay with you. You seem kind of crazy. I think I'll take my chances outside with the aliens or the toxins.
Right, exactly. You could tell she definitely did not have Stockholm syndrome. She was not in love with her captor. You could tell that much. Unless it was something extreme where Derulio came on the scene. And she's like, nope, I'm getting out of here, because she's fashioning that knife blade to get out of there. And she takes the knife blade, tosses it aside, then gets the gun and starts shooting. Like, nope, I'm not staying around here anymore than I have to. I'm glad she was able to cure Ty. I really was. But that was kind of scary knowing that he fell in the water, because you think, okay, he just fell in the water and everything like that. But no, you see him breaking out with his eyes.
right.
He's having trouble breathing. He's got the fever. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
Hey, Jim Henry, good to see you. Jaloja.
Jaloja.
Hey, Jaloja.
But yes, do not drink the water if you're on that particular planet, folks. Do not drink that water.
That would be some bad Jaloja.
Yes, you would end up in Claire's sick bay for at least a couple of weeks, because I get the impression that Ty was probably in sick bay for at least a week. I know that much. But oh man, he was sick. Poor little kid. That had to be brutal for him.
Yeah.
Actually, Jim, not such a bad idea. I mean, it's mostly 3 hours. Time for a Jaloja break. Be right back.
That's a good point.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I feel bad for Ty. Like I said, because it just seemed like, okay, he was just in the water, but nope, it was a much more serious thing than that. Did you guys think he was going to shoot the video game? I was going to shoot poor Marcus's video game, or did you think he was going to maybe smash it against the tree?
I wasn't sure if he was going to shoot it or smash it, but I knew he was going to destroy it at some point. Yeah.
What did you think he was going to do, John? Did you think he was going to destroy it, or did you think he was going to shoot it like the way he did do it?
I thought he was going to shoot it. Honestly, I did with the laser pistol that he had.
Yes, yeah, the laser.
Just throw it in there and he goes. Shh. I mean, we know he's quite the expert firearm. With
yes.
Mechanics.
That's without using the cannons in his head.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That was before we knew about the cannons in his head and his eyes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But he's always been
It's amazing that we didn't get to see that, because
yeah. Now that would have been an interesting thing to do. Yes, that
would be like, guns out, sit down or else you will be exterminated.
Destroy a video game device now. Video game device terminated. But no, I mean, I kind of figured he would because he was so pissed. I mean, it looks almost like the small little PSP kind of games that you hold around in the Game Boy games, but
right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like he busted his PSP, but like, like his actual gaming console. Not that was his like game controller. His actual gaming console is like somewhere on the Orville.
Right.
Exactly. They would know to get one each because every parent should know kids do not share.
Oh yeah.
They don't share very well. You give
it's
them
mine.
one.
It's mine. No, it's both of yours.
You've had a show. No, it's my turn now.
Sharing? What does that mean? Does that mean it's mine?
Mom, you won't give it back to me. Give it back to me. It's my turn now.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's
I'm glad my kids are older now.
That's the hardest thing when you have one device and you got much as a kid. Oh man, that's a recipe for disaster. Don't ever have just one device, folks, especially if you got more than one kid. That's a recipe for disaster.
Yep.
But yeah, these were fun episodes. I'm glad we got to see them again. So yes. Yeah, they probably could just replicate another one. They probably had to go to someplace, other room or something to go replicate it.
Oh yeah, he went when he went back to the Orville. He like replicated another game. He was fine, but I I did love how he finally snapped and just like. We will not talk of the game again.
That's the serious thing. How calm he is about it.
I know. You almost expected to freak out, like Claire said. Cut the crap, kids. Yeah, back to the vodka replicator. Yeah. Yes, but I know when Isaac is telling him, saying try again, he sounds almost like one of these people in these gaming things that says, "You have made a fatal error. Would you like to try again?" I'm like, Isaac, how can you be so calm? These people are coming towards you. You don't know if they're gonna infect you with their zombie like ability or what. He's just so calm and he doesn't try again. I'm like, Isaac, do you realize how close they are to you?
Right.
They look so different from the creepy guy. They almost look like a different race, almost.
They do.
That's true.
When I said that he looked like a Klingon, well, they look like the CBS Klingons.
Yes.
Doesn't JP call them those the poop Klingons?
Yeah, the poop Klingons. Yeah.
The poop looking Klingons. Yes.
The poop emoji Klingons. That's what he calls them, poop emoji.
That's right. The poop.
I just mostly know them as the Kling Orcs because they look more like some of them leveling.
Definitely. Yeah, I usually refer to them as Kling Orcs.
I just say the non-Klingons. The Klingons from hell.
I still trip out on the fact that, if you're on the spaceship, oxygen is gold, right? Yeah. And these Klingons are burning torches inside of their ship. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's hilarious.
So what kind of game do you think Marcus was playing? I think it was sort of like a racing one. What do you guys think? What kind of game do you think he was playing on this little thing?
It's got to be a little more complicated.
Mario.
It's got to be a little more sophisticated than Tetris. So I would say GTA San Andreas.
Ooh.
It's classic still.
Maybe
From
a
their
Sonic.
standards.
Maybe a Sonic one. I don't know. But either way, it's a pretty intense game where you didn't want to let the game go.
Forget Sonic X. We've now got Sonic 100. Sonic's all around.
Be like Jaws 16.
Oh, yes. Now it's really, really personal. Don't ever go back in the water. Don't ever go in the water, folks.
Yeah, you might get bad. You might get bad acne burns.
So, Mara, I see you are back. What game do you think Marcus was playing on his little device?
Well, as Marcus is a little bit in our future, I would think he was playing Stargate.
Ooh.
Game
Okay.
could be finished by then.
Jim Henry, that's a funny one. He said Candy Crush. He said Angry Birds. I don't know, but it makes you wonder what game is Marcus playing in some ways. But the thing is, obviously, there's a way he can save it. But Isaac had enough. He said, nope, no more game. Why do you think they asked for the story of Peter Rabbit of all stories by any chance?
I figured it was a story that, at some point comforted him in a younger time, and he just wanted to feel that comfort because he was scared. He was scared for his mother and scared for himself.
Yeah. What story would you have picked for them to have heard? Would you have picked Peter Rabbit or would you have picked a different one?
I don't know. Maybe Hands on Gretel would be an appropriate one. They got lost in the woods. Have to follow. Mama has to follow the breadcrumbs to get back to us.
Just as long as they don't find the trail of crumbs with candy sugar out.
Stay away from the creep's house. Just because it's made of gingerbread doesn't mean it's safe to go inside. Don't trust them.
And don't eat the food. It might be tasty.
Immediately, I would eat the food.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know what the food was because we didn't really get a good close of it. But either way, it did not look appealing.
If I see a gingerbread cookie like this big from a gingerbread house, yeah, I'm gonna take a few bites.
I always think of Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, where we saw the giant cookie in the middle of the grass.
Oh yeah. There you go.
Like, I remember that so much. So who knows? Maybe there's a giant Oreo or a giant oatmeal cookie.
The one thing I still remember, like they put it in the trailers too, where little kids inside of a Cheerio, in the middle of a Cheerio or whatever. Dad, don't eat me, Mom.
Dad, don't eat me. Yes, I remember that one so much. That was a funny movie, but. But yeah, the story. I mean, like I said, you can tell that it was a fun time for these kids because these kids they have a lot of time on the set because, like I said, they get to go on trips. I mean, they were going to go to this fun planet, which was we don't know what it was like, but we obviously it sounded fun for Ty. He was like, oh, I want to go, and Marcus is like, well, do we have to go, Mom?
And then once he goes through what they actually go through, he's like, yeah, we should have just went through that trip. That would have been so much better. I'm sorry I said you suck, Mom.
He's like, I love you, Mom.
I know I get mad at you, but I love you, Mom.
And she's like, well, I love you too, sweetie. But now go out there and kick the butts. Because she tells him, you know what, they may not care about life, but we do. So keep it on stun. It's a wonder that she set it on stun. I guess she must have set it on stun so he would not set it any higher.
Stun is probably like the basic setting, standard setting that the most on because
right.
they're peaceful people, so
Exactly. Yeah, because there's a lot of settings on there. I think there's up to 10 settings.
That's the difference between like the Orville and modern Star Trek. I think I haven't seen them set things to stun since 2005. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they don't even know what stun is anymore. Sadly.
You think that's bad?
The first episode of
the face backwards. They don't even know how to hold the face.
The Discovery season 3 first episode. Her and Book are murking people left and right. Just vaporizing people left. They transport away somewhere. They follow them. They murk like 20 people. They transport somewhere else. They follow them. They murk another 20 people. It's like, this isn't Star Trek. Anyways, I'm talking about something else now.
I know. I see what Jim is saying too. He says stun and really stun.
Yeah, really stun.
I would say
forever stun.
Stun to the extreme.
For that second episode, it was more like stun and then stunning. Don't I look stunning in this jacket? No, you really don't. Take that off.
Oh, man. Oh, man. But this was a fun time, guys. Thank you so much for coming. I appreciate you guys coming out. This was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. Had a good time.
It was. It's hard to believe we're almost finished and rewatching season 1. I mean, I'm like, wow. We just finished this episodes 8 and 9. I'm thinking, we've got 3 more to go, folks. 3 more, and we'll be finished with this first season, and then we can go to season 2. I'm like, oh my word.
Oh, and season 2 is where it gets really good.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's gonna get really extreme, but it's hard to believe. Like I said, so much happened in this the first episode season. And I'm like, wow.
Those identity episodes, those are my favorite ones. They're my favorite.
Oh yeah.
So I can't wait.
Oh yeah, I love season.
And I can't wait for them to top them too.
Oh yeah, because each season gets better and better and better. So yes, definitely. I cannot wait to see what happens in season 3. So do you guys have anything coming up on your channels or in your world that I need to be aware of?
Not really, no. I've just been mostly fooling about on TikTok and that. In fact, I have uploaded a bunch of shorts onto my YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to have a laugh, check them out. And I'm sure you'll have a good fun time with them, hopefully.
Nice.
I play the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland.
I'm always on Twitter as always. So,
Mara, is there anything you're up to lately that people need to be on the lookout for, or just look for you anywhere and everywhere?
Yeah, well, I'm still, as always, mostly on other people's channels because my computer's still making troubles and I cannot do the things that I would want to do on my channel. So I guess other people have to stick with me for a while.
Fair enough, Mara. We'll keep you around, okay? Well, I'm not really doing anything right now. I just finished up doing my 5th episode of my podcast, folks, and I really, really need help with my GoFundMe, guys. I mean, it's really, really important because this move is really so important to me because things are getting really crazy here because my mom's health is not the best at times, and yeah, the GoFundMe is going to be a big help if you guys can help. I mean, even if it's just $1 please, if you could help out, I really would appreciate that. And also, I'm trying to get my watch hours up, so if you guys can watch some of my videos, check them out. And if you have any suggestions for me to do, let me know too, because my channel is something that I welcome everybody on, and I would love to hear suggestions. So you guys have a good night, and we will see you another time. Have a good night.
Arrivederci.
Good night.
Bye, folks.